Okay, here we go. Who? 45 seasons, over 20 years, over probably at this point 500 contestants, but only one could always manages to survive each season. Here we go. On this channel, the channel's first season on Survivor 45, we will be going over season 45. Let's go. And now, season 45. May I say, perhaps the best season of the new era? I can definitely say that. And a big contributor to that success is definitely the 9 minutes. It definitely gave us more time to go over the cast and the twists, and all the turns and nicks and all that, to just so that we can get a full, clear picture of the story that's being presented to us. If it wasn't for the extra minutes that we got throughout this season, imagine all we would have lost to the cutting room floor. We're continuing 9-minute episodes again in 46, and I hope we continue getting that beyond the next season. It's an improvement, may I say, and it's what we want. But enough of that. Let's get into Survivor 45. Let's go. We start the season off with the Lulu losers right off the back when Brandon couldn't get up the ladder. He was all, I can't do this. I can't do this. Which resulted in them losing the initial challenge, and we followed that up with Sabaya and Caleb not being able to win the Sweat versus Savvy. So the Lulu losers are off to a horrible start. And back at camp, Emily's being super abrasive, but Brandon is basically petrified of his own shadow, and Hannah seems to just be lost in the jungle, sweeping all of the leaves. Funny enough, Sean is the calmest one there, which is ironic in future tense. And when Caleb and Sabaya get back, we get more of Emily being her original negative self. And it was basically, oh, where do the pyramids come from? And Emily just could not stand it. And at the very end of the first episode, we see Hannah quit the game because she is addicted to her vape. Yowza. We continue that off with Brandon and Emily being basically competing to see who stays and who's the biggest liability. Well, Brandon is, because he constantly fails. Puzzle, challenge. He cannot do anything. So, despite his apparent social game, there's just no avoiding it. He just gets booted off of that. And Emily comes out somehow the other side, the hero of the game. When the next round, Sabaya tries to take out Caleb early, but Emily goes to Caleb and says, "We got Sabaya," and they blindside Sabaya, who had a brand new wax idol, which she should have played, but no. She gets blindsided with 2 votes against her right out the game, and Sean is absolutely in awe that he is now at the bottom, even though he's been perfectly fine this whole game and doesn't know how to recover. So, when the swap happens, Sean goes to Reba, and even though he's making good leeway there to get the target off his back and get seafood float off, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm probably going to vote out anyway, so I'm going to take it. So I'm just going to vote myself off. So Sean is our second quit. Wowza! 2 quits in the first 4 episodes of the season. Have we seen this before? I honestly don't know off the top of my head. And out the way, he just throws all of the Reba women who wanted to keep him under the bus to Sifu. Thank you, Sean. We're not going to miss you. Anyway, the Brando vote is kind of predictable. Emily had to go with either Bella or Reba. She chose Reba. Simple as that. But we do get the sandwiches. J. Maya, Kelly, Austin, sandwiches or amulets. The one was saying amulets, and Austin is absolutely gutted that he cannot get the sandwiches. So he's going to take revenge. And now we go into the Mergatory, which should be the Merge, but isn't the Merge because you're technically in Purgatory. The Mergatory. It's basically Bello against Reba, with Emily and Caleb should be in the middle, but no, because Bello is targeting Caleb. And even though Caleb should be the Batman of the season, being the hero, the one everyone needs, he's not. He's the Canadian, which everyone wants to target. So, it should be a unanimous vote for Caleb, but no. He pulls in the shot in the dark and boom! He negates 11 votes against him, the most out of everyone. Oh my god! It, absolute chaos. And J. Maya gets sniped from behind into the secondary target. Predictable? A little. But amazing based off the shot in the dark that Caleb managed to do? Oh yeah. But it goes downhill because we get a split tribal. So half the tribe on that side, half the tribe on that side, split down the middle, 6-6. So Kelly has immunity on the other side, on one side, D has immunity on the other. D wants Caleb, Kelly wants Sifu. This side, it's predictable. Sifu gets the boot, even though there was talks about getting Bruce out of the game. Benefits for both. Sifu gone, didn't make the jury. And may I say, it's kind of cool and weird that the next 5 boots are on this whole tribe. That's something to think about. The other side, not as predictable because Jake is trying to make a plan with Katura to save Caleb and target Julie. But he mishandles his relationship with Katura and results in Katura flipping and taking out Caleb in a 4-2 vote against for Caleb to Julie. And that wraps up the whole Caleb arc in this unremarkable way in the split tribal. First member of the jury, but an instant all-star in all of our books. Now we go into the sort of second phase of the game where it's now Bello against Reba, and we see over time that one side just keeps going up and the other just keeps going down. It's like that sort of cut off the head of the snake and the body will die. Well, it's more like, this time it was more like the brain was autopsied and the body just did not move from that point on. No growth, no progression, just stayed where it is and remained a vegetable. Okay, but enough of these crude analogies. Let's go to a positive note. The return of the Survivor Auction. Survivor Auction's back. Okay. After a long hiatus for 15 seasons, after the disaster that was Worlds Apart. Now, they obviously made some changes of how the auction works. I do like some of the changes. I think there's some room for improvement. Like, for example, if you have the most money left at the end, you lose your vote. I think that's the biggest issue, but they made changes from the prior auction that we've been saying for years and years, that was the problem of the auction. That was having advantages in the auction to begin with. Like, that was the biggest problem. They got rid of it. I'm happy about that. But I think they just replaced one red herring with another. And now we probably get to our most devastating vote of the season, Kelly's vote. I had Kelly so high, like, seeing her go was just devastating. And every member of Bello, and probably some of the members of Reba and Emily, were actually devastated too by seeing her go. But that was the move that had to happen. Like, she was probably the only one on the opposite side that had the gamemanship to take down Reba, and Drew made a very smart move in convincing the other Rebas and Emily to vote out Kelly. I still don't know how he did it. Like, am I missing something here? Like, and tell me in the comments, am I missing something here? We did not see in the episode Drew actually convinced the other Rebas and Emily to vote out Kelly. They wanted to vote out Jake. That the time where they decided that happened in between the edit. Like, I understand how people came to that decision, but we did not actually see it. Anyway, Kelly was blindsided. Huge devastation on everyone, especially her. I think like Caleb, she's an instant all-star and she'll get another chance. But from that point on, it's become the Bruce show. Bruce is the number one target on the board, and if he does not win immunity, he will be going home. Over the next 2 episodes, it's pretty much that story. Unfortunately, an immunity twist happened that allowed Bruce to get to the end and win that immunity, so he's safe that round. A bunch of other pointless stuff happened there, but Kendra got sniped out of left field by D, who convinced everyone to vote Kendra out unanimously over Jake. And then we get to the next episode where Bruce is really probably at his peak of self-realization, which kind of says a lot for him. But it doesn't last long because he comes up with a very bad lie about his idol, which he has, and that he lost it to Kelly. And it did work for a bit, but Katara hates Bruce. Like, if I hadn't said it before, Katara hates Bruce, and just dispose of that lie quickly, immediately, and just Katara's hatred of Bruce clouded her judgment to see if that was a good move. So, when it came down to the vote, Bruce didn't win immunity. Emily convinced Bruce that he did not have to play his idol, and Bruce was blindsided. The number one target out of the game, blindsided, and it probably didn't take like Bruce 10 seconds to walk away after getting his sword snuffed, and everyone on left in the game and on the jury was just celebrating. Eek. I guess Katara wasn't the one that hated Bruce. Now here comes the pinnacle of the second phase. With Bruce out of the game, people are now realizing, okay, there are more than one target in the game that can win. Which should it be? And right now, it's between Emily and Julie. The side seems to be siding with Emily to take out Julie. But Austin told D, who is the one person siding with Julie, that it's going to be Julie. So D tells Julie to play her idol that she got because Austin made made a dumb decision to give her the idol during the previous immunity challenge, the second previous immunity challenge to this, because she got scared that it was going to be something that it never was going to be. But anyway, Julie still has that idol, and they were trying to blindside her so that she doesn't play it, but because of Dee, she played it, and the two of them made this brilliant move to take out the biggest threat in Emily, which worked. And that takes out the pinnacle fan favorite of the season, where in Emily Flippin, which we got to see her grow and change into a very compelling player of the season and a big narrator, where pretty much on the island at that point and to the audience knew that if she got to the end, she was going to win. And just seeing her transformation from beginning to end is probably one of the most rewarding stories that Survivor has given to us, not just in this new era, but in Survivor as a whole. This is where we start seeing the birth of Dee and Austin's love story. I don't have sound effects. I was trying to make it the sound of a heart formation. Anyway, Austin's affections for Dee are definitely clouding. He definitely clouded his judgment in that last move that he made. But Dee ain't making the same mistake. Austin may have given her information, but she's not giving Austin the same kind of information. As now, with Julie in the game, it's Julie versus Drew, with everyone else in between trying to decide which side they'll be on. Austin staying with Drew, but everyone else is going to side with Julie to take out Drew. And Dee could have changed everything with just one single slip of the tongue decision. But she didn't. And in a 4-2 vote, with Austin playing the only chance of saving Drew getting flushed, Drew went home in a 4-2 vote. And that is officially the end of the Reba 4, the main power structure alliance since the beginning. Drew, Julie, Dee, and Austin. Finally, one of them goes home at 6. So now we go into the finale for perhaps the most crazy vote ever. Like, this is something that I only thought I would see in like a Roblox Outlaster or a Brand Steel simulation. Like, this vote was crazy. It had no real form of communication, no solid plan, just nothing. That it was just everyone doing their own thing. I'm going to try to go through this quickly. Okay. Alright, so Dee wanted to target Katurah, but Austin wanted to target Julie. Julie wanted to target Jake. Katurah wanted to target Dee. Jake wanted to target Julie, but Katurah talked Jake into targeting Dee. But at the last minute, during Tribal, Katurah switched her vote to Julie because Austin told her that he was voting Julie. And because Katurah did not trust Jake, neither his word or his what he was going to do with his idol that he had, she switched to Julie because apparently that was a safe move. And in a just with 2 votes against her and everyone else going to everyone else after that was available to be voted for, Julie went home in 5th place. The finale wasn't the final 4 round wasn't that much. D1 immunity, sent Jake and Katura into fire. Jake won. Katura went home and revealed she was a lawyer, which concludes sort of this whole lawyer storyline that we got at the very end and in the beginning. I kind of forgot about that part. And now we get to our final three. Dee versus Austin versus Jake. And immediately going in, we can tell Jake ain't getting any votes. No one really respects this game. So it's Dee versus Austin. And the two of them put up some fight, showing to everyone that heart and brain put together is the key to having a very strong game. Or at least that's what Dee's saying. Austin is basically saying, if I'm well insulated and I have my advantages, my idols, my amulets, my number ones, then I'm good. And Dee's saying a similar thing about formations, but she said, I don't need to have any idols in order to have a good game if I have the information, because having the information is more important than having an idol. When the jury went to vote, it was 3 votes Austin, 5 votes Dee, making Dee our sole survivor of 45. So now we have Dee, our champion, our sole survivor for the season. And may I say, this is probably a top tier winner, most definitely. I've seen comments out there comparing her to like Kim Spradlin and Earl Cole. Like, those are good winners that you want to be associated with. I'm proud of Dee. I think she played an amazing social and strategic game. I knew going in that she would be good socially. I underestimated her strategic capability, and when it came to the physicality side of the game, like, she crushed that. She won the most individual immunity challenges of the season with 3, and my God, she made challenges that were supposed to look difficult easy without breaking a sweat. And it seemed like the theme of the season was sort of, I don't want to say a gross edit, no. I think the theme was authenticity. Yeah, the theme was in just being your true, authentic self, and Dee channeled that full front, and she never stopped being herself, even for a moment. She did what she wanted to do, she did what she had to do, and she wasn't going to apologize for it. That sounds like a really true, great winner, and I'm so happy that Dee won this season. 45 as a whole, great season, amazing, probably one of the best of the new era, and I'm happy that it's the first season that of Survivor that I've covered on this channel. Well done. Now, got some time before going to 46. When 46 comes, I'm going to change a few things around, like do a few things different, like maybe what I'm doing here, but I think going off my past experience making these videos, I need to make a change because it's come to my attention that I'm putting more effort into making these and making sure everything goes right than what I'm actually getting out of it. So I'm going to have to figure out a new way to do these in the future for the challenge Big Brother, and most likely coming up sooner rather than later, Survivor 46. But that is it. That is everything I have for Survivor 45. Season is done, wrapped up. Check out the player rankings tomorrow, and I will see you next time. Take care. love one another.